Welcome to Vysh IAS. So we'll be continuing with the Plums series of Polity, Governance and Schemes today. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing this channel so that you will be getting daily free updates on UPSC. And if you're looking for a good quality test series, then you can contact the number which is given on the screen 7200681675. Okay, let's move on to the first question for today. So the first question reads, the Swaran Singh committee considered the question of and four options are given. Okay, so I have already told you if there are some important commission recommendations or committee recommendations, something like that. Okay, so you have to get a broad idea of that thing. It doesn't mean that you have to mug up all the recommendations of whatever commissions and committees which are coming up in news. It just means that you have to know the basic mandate of the committee or the commission. With this knowledge, you can go with elimination method. Okay, so we have seen Swaran Singh committee in the context of fundamental duties. If you have covered this Lakshmikant, you would have known this by this time. Okay, in the fundamental duties, we have learnt about Swaran Singh committee. Okay, so look for the options which is close to that. So among the options, this C, option number C is more in line with what we have learned. So I'm telling a way for you to answer a question even if you don't know. Okay, with the basic knowledge, how can you approach a question? That is also important, because everything we can't expect that we know as we learn in the book. Okay, so here look at the statement, the precedence of the directive principles over the fundamental rights. This was something which was related with Swaran Singh committee. Okay, so the correct answer in this case would be C. Now, come to the next question. The Chief Minister of a state in India is not eligible to vote in the presidential election if he is. Okay, so four options are given. This is D. D option is this. Okay, so here the question is asking like Chief Minister of a state. Okay, he is not eligible to vote in a presidential election if certain conditions are also given. So this is a kind of indirect question, but it's a logical question also. So the question is basically asking you about the electorate of the presidential election. Okay, so who all can vote in the presidential election? That is a static portion which we have covered in Lakshmikant. So here we have already learned that in the presidential election, the members of upper house or the members of the SLC, we are having SLA and SLC. Okay, not all states are having the SLC, means state legislative council, whereas all the states will be having the state legislative assembly. That is fine, but not all states are having SLC. Only the bigger states will be having the SLCs. So the members from the SLC, they are not eligible to vote in the presidential election, that we know. So that is this question. This question is all about that. So here the correct answer would be if he is a member of the upper house of the state legislature. So this you have to analyze yourself. Please pause the screen and analyze this question. So if the chief minister can also, chief minister or the prime minister, he or she doesn't need to be necessarily from Lok Sabha or the state legislative assembly. Anyone from the Rajya Sabha or the SLC also can be the chief minister or the prime minister, right? So if the situation is like that, anyway, the members of Rajya Sabha or the more, if I have to be more clear, the members of upper house of the state, that is SLC. SLC members can't vote in presidential election. That is the static fact, and this is the only fact you need to answer this question. So please pause the screen and analyze this question once again. Okay, so here the question is simply asking, if the chief minister is from the SLC, can he or she vote in presidential election? No. Even if the chief minister, even if he or she is the chief minister, if the member is from SLC, he or she can't vote in the presidential election. That is all you have to mug up. Okay, now come to the next question. This is a type of question we are seeing again and again, the three list of the constitution, like state list, then concurrent list and the central list. Okay, what are the main entries in all the three lists, that you have to know. Okay, a broad idea you have to know. Okay, so what you can do is you can look at the PYQ and skim through the options. Whatever options or entries are given in the options, that are important, and you have to analyze the option. If there is an option like public health and sanitation in the PYQ, you have to go and search whether it is coming under state list, concurrent list or the central list. Okay, that is all we have to do. So PYQs will be enough to do this. So here, which is coming under the concurrent list? So the answer is population control and family planning. This is coming under the concurrent list. Now come to the next question. Which one of the following comes under the jurisdiction of both High Court and Supreme Court? Okay, so here it is asking what is the concurrent sphere between High Court and Supreme Court. Okay, so we have already learned the Supreme Court with respect to its jurisdiction when there are certain disputes between the federal units. Okay, if there is a dispute between the federal units of the federation, then Supreme Court comes into play. Here, High Court is not having any role, and we have already learned that in this case, Supreme Court will be having original and exclusive jurisdiction. Okay, original and exclusive jurisdiction. Please revise the chapter of judiciary because you are sure to get 2 questions from this judiciary, and it is not time consuming also. Please revise the basic concepts so that you don't lose that 4 marks. Okay, 2 to 4 marks. Okay, so this is very important. So here, in which of these items do the Supreme Court and High Court are having the concurrent sphere? So here the correct answer would be the protection of fundamental rights, and we have already learned under Article 227 High Court is also having the writ jurisdiction for the fundamental right, and similar power is given to Supreme Court also under Article 32. We are having writ jurisdiction of Supreme Court. So with respect to fundamental rights, we can see a concurrent sphere between the High Court and Supreme Court, whereas in the other three other statements, dispute between center and state and between states, these are all federal units, and Supreme Court will be coming into play. So this is the correct answer. So protection of fundamental rights, High Court and Supreme Court is having powers. Okay, now come to the next question. Which one of the following is a feature common to both the Indian Federation and American Federation? So this also, the first part of Lakshmikant, you will be learning about this, the similarities and differences, and the Indian Constitution, and where we have taken the major provisions, like some provisions we have taken from America, Canada, Irish Constitution. So from constitutions all over the world, we have taken some important provisions and we have incorporated in our own constitution. So what are the similarities and differences with major constitutions of the world? Okay, so that comparison you have to learn. Okay, there is no other way other than to mug up. Okay, so here, which is the similarities, which is the feature similarity between Indian Constitution and American Constitution? So the similarity would be a federal Supreme Court to interpret the Constitution. Both countries are having the same. And single citizenship, India is having single citizenship, whereas America, it is having dual citizenship. Okay, then 3 listed in the Constitution, dual judiciary. This is not the case with India, whereas this is the case with America. Okay, so here the correct answer is federal Supreme Court to interpret the Constitution. So that's all for the day. That's the end of today's session. So we'll meet in the next week in the next episode. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.